Hello, and welcome to another On Point preview. Today, we are diving deep into our hands-on time with the preview build of South of Midnight. I am CMoney, and I am joined by the always lovely Doodle.
What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for rocking out with us today. Shout out to Xbox and Compulsion Games for hosting us at the South of Midnight hands-on event and for providing us with a build of the game for preview. This game had us captivated since the first trailer, so our expectations are high. Let's see if it is living up to the hype.
Let's go ahead and get started with the graphics. So the graphics in South of Midnight, at least with what we've experienced in this preview, are nothing short of spectacular. From the get-go, Compulsion Games promised something unique, and they've delivered with the Southern Gothic, handcrafted aesthetic, and the standout use of stop-motion animation. The world is lush, dense, and every single detail feels purposeful.
The stop motion effect isn't just a gimmick. It's a core part of the game's identity. When you see Hazel moving through the world, there's this illusion of imperfection that's beautiful. It's like watching a storybook come to life, with each character and creature having this slightly jerky yet charming animation style reminiscent of classic stop-motion films.
The game offers a choice between this stop-motion style and a more traditional rendering. It's an option you can toggle. With it on, the game feels like you're walking through a living diorama. However, when you switch it off, the game transforms into something more polished and fluid, offering a different but equally compelling visual experience. It's smoother, more conventional, but it loses a bit of that handcrafted charm. It's still beautiful, but less whimsical. The stop motion animation gives everything a physical, tangible feel, as if each frame was painstakingly crafted by hand. Textures appear more organic, movements are slightly stuttered, which adds to the game's unique atmosphere. The option to switch is a testament to the game's versatility in visual storytelling.
The way light catches on Hazel's hair, or how the swamp's water seems to ripple with a life of its own, becomes more pronounced and artistic. The way light reflects off water or pierces through the fog in the swamp areas, it's atmospheric and adds so much to the immersion. This game is visually a feast for the eyes, whether you're standing still or exploring.
Absolutely. The character models, especially Hazel, are a testament to this. Her clothing, the texture of her hair, even the way light dances across her features, it's all so detailed. And the creatures, like catfish, have this intricacy that's just mesmerizing. Now, in chapter 3 of South of Midnight, the environment really comes to life. You're navigating through a lush yet eerie swamp where every tree and vine seems to have a story. There's a sense of decay and rebirth, with moss-covered structures and waterlogged paths.
Absolutely. The water here is almost a character in itself. It's murky, teeming with life, and you can see the occasional alligator lurking just beneath the surface. The swamp feels like a living, breathing entity, with each mossy tree and murky water path animated in this stop motion style, making the world feel both magical and tangible.
The main creature we encounter in this chapter is catfish. This giant, benevolent catfish with human like expressions, particularly in his eyes. He takes on an even more mythical quality with stop motion. His movements are deliberate and expressive, giving him a personality that's deeply felt. His presence alone tells a story of the land, a creature both of myth and reality, trapped by a tree that's bound by a child's spirit. The smaller critters, from bunnies to birds, also benefit from this style, appearing as if they stepped out of a fairy tale.
There are smaller creatures like frogs and dragonflies that animate the world, making it feel alive. And let's not forget the bunnies and birds. In chapter 3, you'll spot adorable bunnies hopping around, adding a touch of innocence to this otherwise dark setting. They're detailed and animated with care, making the swamp feel like a place where life persists despite the gloom. The birds are equally enchanting. You'll see them fly through the trees or perched on the trees around the swamp. From herons wading through the shallows to songbirds that fill the air with their melodies, these creatures bring a sense of natural beauty and movement to the world.
Yes, and then there are the enemies. In South of Midnight, the enemies embody the darker aspects of human emotion, resentment, pain, and lingering negativity that characters like Benji struggle to release. These adversaries personify the negative energy, moving with a haunting slowness. Conversely, when Hazel purges the darkness, she ushers in a flood of light, revealing the vibrant world Compulsion has crafted, teeming with beautiful flora and fauna.
Now, on to the story. Hazel, our protagonist, is a weaver, and her journey is deeply personal. She's looking for her mother in a world that's been reshaped by a mysterious hurricane into something magical yet unsettling.
Hazel's backstory is rich. She's grown up with her mother's sacrifices, balancing her own burgeoning powers with the responsibilities of understanding her lineage and the pain around her. In chapter 3, we see this theme play out with the catfish, a giant creature with his own troubles, and Benji, a boy whose spirit needs healing.
The narrative here isn't just about a quest. It's about healing, understanding, and growth. Hazel's interactions with the characters reveal layers of their past and her own. It's storytelling that uses the environment, the mechanics, and the visuals to tell a story that's both personal and universal.
And the way the story unfolds through dialogue, environmental storytelling, and gameplay really makes you feel part of this world. You're not just playing, you're living through Hazel's eyes, feeling her courage, her sorrow, her hope. The final moments of the chapter brings together the entirety of what this game does great, combined to create an experience that is unforgettable. Now, on to the sound. Let's delve into the sound design here, particularly the music.
I remember my brother, his fate was so cruel. He saw things so different, branded a fool. He found trouble often, each place we'd go. He didn't know that this was the end. He was my brother, Benji his name. He saw things different, he was my shame. And I said goodbye, I said farewell. I took my hammer, my ticket to hell.
Excuse me.
The score for South of Midnight is all original, composed to reflect the journey through the Southern Gothic landscape. It draws inspiration from the haunting tunes of the American South, blending folk, blues, and even elements of jazz to create an atmospheric soundscape.
Absolutely. The music isn't just background noise, it's an integral part of the storytelling. What's fascinating is how the music evolves with the story. As Hazel progresses, the score changes, enhancing the narrative beats and making pivotal moments even more impactful. It's not just sound, it's storytelling. It's like the score is another character, setting the mood for each scene. From the melancholic tones when confronting Benji's past, to the uplifting crescendos as Hazel achieves moments of healing.
The inspiration seems to come from artists like Tom Waits for its gritty, narrative-driven style, and from the likes of David Lynch's soundscapes for its ability to create unease and beauty simultaneously. This music doesn't just accompany the game, it tells its own story, enhancing the narrative's impact.
Environmental sounds are also masterfully done and equally impactful. The buzz of mosquitoes, the distant calls of wildlife, the mud underfoot, or the eerie quiet of the swamp. It's all so natural. These sounds contribute to the immersion, making you feel part of this world.
And the voice acting here is top notch.
And they clump up around places of old pain. You know, some folks say that if you scoop up those clumps, put them in a bottle and put that bottle in a bottle tree, you could cure the pain. Hasn't really worked out for me just yet, but
Maybe I could help bottle up the pain.
that's why I'm the last person left here. All those damn haints. This part of the river's filthy with them. Ever since my brother went missing.
If you let me take a bottle, I could help.
Well, get you one off the tree then. And you're welcome to try bottling up the pain. But the roots of this trouble go deep.
The roots of this trouble go deep.
My salvation.
A talking fish? Nope. Ain't no way.
Old Weaver like you must have seen stranger things than me. And I was so sorry to hear about your misfortunation. You find your mama yet?
How do you know about my mama?
Well, before I tell you what I know, would you mind? This gentleman here scooped me up, but he ain't been equally good about letting go. Would you kindly do your Weaver thing and help me down?
What weavy thing?
Hazel's voice carries the weight of her experiences, and Catfish's deep, resonant tones add so much character, giving them life beyond the script. And there's this haunting child's voice when you activate the navigation, or really when you use any of her powers. Which is both creepy and endearing, pulling you deeper into the narrative.
I couldn't agree more, CMoney. Let's talk about the gameplay now. Gameplay in South of Midnight is where the narrative and mechanics marry beautifully. Hazel's Weaver abilities are central to both combat and exploration. Her weaving powers allow her to mend emotional wounds, which is a gameplay mechanic that serves the story.
Combat is thoughtful. You've got to dodge, time your attacks, and use Hazel's abilities strategically. A well-timed dodge can lead to a powerful counter, adding a layer of strategy to what could have been just button mashing.
Exploration is encouraged through mechanics like double jumping, gliding, and even wall running, giving a sense of freedom that matches Hazel's journey. There are hidden weaves for upgrades, which are cleverly placed, urging players to explore every inch of this beautifully crafted world.
And let's not forget the puzzles, where you use Hazel's powers to manipulate the environment, like when you have to pull a box with your powers and set it in the right position to reach a secret weave. It's all tied into the story, making you feel like you're a part of Hazel's growth, not just playing a game. Now, this chapter is engaging from the moment you start with its storytelling to the combat to the exploration. The world of South of Midnight is a place you want to lose yourself in.
Absolutely. The balance between narrative, exploration, and combat is so well done. You're never just moving from one point to another. There's always something to discover, a story to uncover, or an emotional moment to experience.
The game manages to keep you invested with its character development, the beauty of its world, and the satisfaction of mastering its mechanics. It's not just fun, it's memorable.
I couldn't agree more. Now, while we loved our time with the game, there were a few minor issues. Hazel occasionally got stuck on the environment, which can break the immersion.
And there were moments where climbing didn't register properly, making navigation a bit clunky. These are small issues in the grand scheme, but notable since the game's exploration is such a key aspect.
Agreed. However, these could easily be fixed before the final release. They didn't detract from our enjoyment, but are worth mentioning for those looking for a polished experience right out of the gate.
To wrap it up, South of Midnight is shaping up to be something truly special. It's an art piece, a narrative adventure, and a gameplay experience all rolled into one.
If the rest of the game holds up to what we've seen, this will be more than just a game. It'll be an experience that'll stay with us long after the credits roll.
We can't wait to see how Hazel's journey concludes and how the story of this beautifully crafted world unfolds. Thank you for watching this preview, and make sure to subscribe for more updates on South of Midnight. Check out our interviews with the dev team, the studio head, and the team that worked on the stop motion intro at Clyde Henry Productions. And with that, until next time,
You're intruding.
you're intruding.